saying that James's blushes had mold in them. Like, we really need to stop for a second, and we need to reevaluate and talk about commentary or drama or whatever we're going to call it right now. Because you can't just say whatever you want to say. Like, I understand freedom of speech, right? But freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. And if you say some stuff that is not true and you say it like it's a fact, you can be sued. So, doing commentary, doing drama, there are some positives to it, there's negatives to it. It's a freaking minefield. So what I wanted to talk about today is just the risk that you take when you go into the commentary space. It's the risk that I have chosen to take in changing my niche, really, from beauty reviews to beauty commentary. I do miss reviews, though. I will tell you that. I do miss it. I did reviews for a long time. I miss it greatly. But it's a calculated risk. It's you can't just jump into it willy-nilly thinking you're going to make a ton of money off of it and thinking that it's going to be good for you, because it's way more complicated than that, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So before we jump into it, I do want to, of course, as always, say hello to the people that are here live in the collective brain of makeup awesomeness, also known as the people that are here live in the live chat. So hold on. I just re-upped on my coffee, so it's very full. Ooh, that's so good. I started off with a peanut butter flavored coffee and I topped it off with a birthday cake flavored coffee, which sounds really weird, but has really just made this beautiful, beautiful combination. All right, let's say hello to the people that are here live. They're going to be participating in this conversation. If you are not here live, it's no problem. You are also participating in the collective brain by leaving comments in the comment section down below. All right, let's say hello. Hello, Jennifer. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Looking great in your profile picture with that pink bandana. That color is your color. Love it so much. Hello, my fabulous friend and moderator, Teresa. Teresa says, hello and welcome to live chat, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing well, friend. Flory, Steph, Audra, thank you for keeping our chatting space such a happy place to chat. Wonderful, wonderful, amazing humans. Hello, Roya. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Anna says, yay, got on time. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hi, Tracy. Good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Hello, nice Gigi in Minnesota. So good to see you. I'm happy that you're here. Hello, Tish. Good morning. Hi, Jessie. Jessie says, good afternoon from cold and wet London. I was just texting my friend who was texting me from Harrods, where she was looking at the Charlotte Tilbury the advent calendar. She saw it, she thought of me, and she's actually in London right now. She texted me this morning for me. Of course, it's afternoon for you. But yes, enjoy your day in cold, wet London. There is a chance I may be going back next summer. I've talked about this many times in live chat that it is my dream to go back to the Tower of London. I have seen it from the outside. It was closed. It was dark, and I did not get to go in. But there is a chance that this coming summer, I may be able to go back. And I'm really excited. I hope that it works out. Right now, it's just a plan. It's a concept of a plan. But I'm hoping that it turns into a real plan. Hello, Christine. Good morning to you. Good morning, Miss Lavender. Nice Gigi says, I'm ready for this topic. So many drama channels are just plain toxic. Totally agree. Totally agree. Cynthia, good morning. She meant Jen. Good morning from sunny Southern California. Say hello to Southern California for me. And if I did not say good morning to you, good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Chloe has been a member for 6 months and says that commentary has become her favorite genre on YouTube. Yes, and I think it's become a lot of people's favorite genres on YouTube. We're going to talk about that. I also saw that Marquettaville said, Shana Tova, Jen, and everyone. Yes, Happy New Year to all of my Jewish friends out there. And I hope you had a lovely holiday or having a lovely holiday. All right. So let's talk about it. Okay, have my little notes. This is the thing about commentary. And I've learned this through the years. And it's one of those things where you have to, I think in life, just in general, no matter who you are, you have to be open to listening to people that know more than you, right? And I think that for a while, I wasn't as open as I should be, you know, in listening to people who know more than me about a topic. But I have learned in my 40 plus years of life that that is the best way to be the best version of yourself, is to be open to listening. So I think that one of the biggest things for commentary channels is to make sure that we are all open to listening to people that know more than us. I think that's the key to a good commentary channel, is that you know what you know, and more importantly, you know what you do not know. You recognize that there are some topics that you're just not going to have knowledge on. You can't know everything unless you're that dude on Jeopardy that won billions of dollars or whatever. I'm being hyperbolic, but unless you're that guy, there's a lot of things that we just can't know. So being honest about what we don't know, and then seeking out experts who do know that and quoting them and bringing them into your content. I think that that is the key to a good commentary channel. And that's where a lot of commentary channels trip up, is wanting to be, and where I've tripped up in the past, let's be fair, wanting to be the authority on a topic when you don't know what the freak you're talking about. And I think that it's hard to admit when you don't know something, because it's easy to think, well, if I act like I don't know this, then people aren't going to see me as an authority. They're not going to see me as a professional. They're not going to take me seriously. But that's not true. That's actually not true. What's going to make people not take you seriously and not care about what you have to say is when you start talking some nonsense, like you know what you're talking about, and you're wrong. That's what's going to be the bad thing. So super, super, super important. Okay. On that base, the reason why a lot of people, including myself, I'm always honest with y'all, including myself, why we want to do commentary is because it gets views. It's lucrative. It leads to channel growth. It leads to money, monetization. The you can get more sponsors if you're getting more views. The views itself, especially on YouTube, on TikTok and Instagram, it's much, much lower. YouTube Shorts even is much lower, but on long form content on YouTube commentary channels, it's lucrative as far as the AdSense, because you're creating this long form content. And we talked about this before when we talked about just monetization on YouTube in general, is that the longer the content is, the more ads there are, the more you can keep people engaged to watch more ads, the more the video will make. That's what it comes down to. So commentary does lend itself to longer form content, which can lead to more ads, which can lead to a higher revenue on the content. The only thing that trips that up is the niche that you're in. Like if you're doing gaming commentary, it gets complicated because it's not just about the ads, it's about the topic as well. So it's not one for one depending on the topic of your commentary. But my point is that the earning potential is there. The earning potential is there. The engagement potential is there. And one thing that really resonated with me from James Charles Part 5 that someone said, and I wish I had it written down, was that they said, and you're going to love this, they said that James Charles Part 5, where we end the video with James being accused of being a predator, there's evidence that he's done certain things, and he's thriving. He's doing super well. He's doing amazing. And what they said was, I felt like with this part I was watching true crime, but the criminal is still out there and still doing very well. And I was like, this is so interesting, because I never thought of my content as being in any way related to true crime. But in that one, yeah, in a way, I mean, James was never charged with a crime. Let's be very clear about that. At least to our knowledge, he was never charged with a crime. But it was kind of like that. It gave kind of that vibe. And true crime is a huge niche. I mean, it's huge on major streaming platforms. It's huge on YouTube. It's huge everywhere, true crime. So the connection between the emotions that true crime can generate in a person, and adjacent emotions that commentary in any niche can create really leads to a high level of engagement within the audience, which is great for the creator. Let me see what you all are saying. Anna says, I love your approach to the issues. You go after the facts, you educate yourself to know more, and don't fall in the kind of tea commentary that populates YouTube. Yeah. And we're going to talk a little bit more about tea commentary because tea commentary can do very well. If done well, it can be very good. I am definitely not a hater of tea commentary. I've watched tea commentary for a really long time. I'm definitely not hating on that by any means. So it just has to be done right, so that you don't get sued. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Pam says commentary is looking to give a wow factor just like mainstream news. I look at commentary for entertainment, not for facts. That's very interesting. It's an interesting perspective because that you look for entertainment, not for facts. The problem is when that entertainment leads people to believe something that's not true, and people believe that it's a fact when it's not. I think that if you can really discern like Pam can, I think that that's good, but I don't think everybody can do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm defining, Manders, this is a great question. How are you defining a commentary channel? I'm defining a commentary channel as a channel that sees something and comments on it. That's the way I'm defining a commentary channel. I feel like the difference between a commentary channel and a drama channel is the presentation of it. When I think of commentary, I think of you're presenting the major, it's all about the balance. So with a commentary channel, this is just my opinion and the way my perspective is, the major focus of the video is the facts of what's happening. It's the story. It's what's happening. And the actual commentary is secondary. It's more about presenting the situation with a side of this is what I think, where a drama channel is more of mostly what I think with a side of what happened. It's the balance of it. Where are you more about your opinion and the thoughts on what happened, or like where's the balance there? And that's kind of where I draw the line between drama and commentary. I would love to know your definition of drama versus commentary as well. This is interesting. Catherine says true crime is problematic when facts not in evidence become part of the case. Yes. And it really does get tricky there. Absolutely. Yeah. Feral Cat says, is reaction a subgenre of commentary? I would say yes, it is. But I wouldn't call that, well, I guess, yeah. Because I would say it's closer. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you do it. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Manders likes my explanation. Cool. Okay, good. Yay. Okay, good. I'm glad I explained that well. Sometimes things coming out of my mouth, I don't really know whether it's making any sense. So I'm really glad that made sense. Okay. Big Bold Beauty, hello. Why do you keep changing your name? I'm glad you're not changing your profile picture though, so I know who you are. I love your name though. I love your new name. It's just keeping track of people is sometimes difficult. Don't change your profile picture though, because it's number one, it's gorgeous, and number two, it helps me know who you are. Or maybe it is, I don't know. I recognize you, but I know the name is different. That's all I'm saying. Thank you for being here. I'm happy that you're here. Go do your makeup. Enjoy. I'm happy that you're here. All right. Audra says, hi, Audra. Audra says, commentary equals waits for most of the info to roll in and reports. T equals play-by-play, quick bite videos. That's a great way to describe it as well. That it's more of, yeah. I like that. I like that explanation. And then Audra continues, reaction can be tricky. If you're just watching it and not adding, it's stealing, in my opinion. I agree. There are a lot of people doing react videos and they're not actually reacting. They're just taking the stuff and they're just replaying the entire thing. And that's something I don't agree with at all. Totally agree. They say if you're reacting, commenting, adding, and changing, it's commentary. I agree 100%. All right. So we talked about higher engagement in commentary. That's definitely a benefit of jumping into this niche. The other thing is I do feel like it creates more of a connection between the audience and the commentator when you have the same opinion. People look for people that have like opinions and viewpoints. And I think commentary naturally lends itself to building community through like mindedness. And that can lead to repeat viewers when you know that there's somebody that you were basically on the same page with something. You know that they're going to have a take that is going to be similar to where you're at. Maybe add something here, add something there. It's kind of like in live chat. I say something and then y'all add something. And even though we're on the whole very like minded, you all help me to think in new ways. And I think that's how community really is built in commentary channels. Also, the other thing about commentary that I love about commentary, I forget. Swallowing noises, not the best. If you're just listening, I just was just sipping my coffee and I turned so you didn't have to hear me swallow. Uh, is the creative freedom behind commentary that we get to choose what we want to talk about. And Audra has been trying to convince me to get out of beauty specifically and go more into some of the other commentary stuff. And I love that freedom to be able to do that. I will tell you, I think I've decided on the next Behind the Controversy. And there have been videos made on this, but I want to do it in a Jen way, is the rise of the ordinary and the tragedy of Brandon Truex. That story is so heartbreaking. It's triumphant, and then there's this descent that happened so fast. And I remember talking about it on What's Up in Makeup and watching the descent. I remember when he fired Nicola, and I remember when he said he was going to shut down the company, and I remember, all of the things. And it's like, what is happening? Like, it seemed to all be happening so fast. So to I know you might not know what I'm talking about, but it's a very emotional story with a lot of peaks and valleys. And I think that I'm really looking forward to telling that story, even though it is so tragic. And to have that creative freedom to choose that, because I was going to do Morphe next, the rise and fall of Morphe. But I don't have it in me right now to talk about James Charles anymore. I want to talk about him as little as possible right now. Like, I need a little bit of a break from that corner. And I think Brandon is such a fascinating person. And what happened with him is such a fascinating story that I think that's the next one I'm going to tackle. But I'm not very good at time, but I think that I'm hoping it's going to be Nikita Dragon length, which is one long video. I'm hoping. And if you don't know that story, there are some videos already out there, but I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you because it's very interesting. So my point is having that creative freedom is so nice. It's really nice. Where when I was reviewing makeup, I felt like I was kind of stuck with reviewing. I had the choice of reviewing new stuff that was just coming out, and it was dependent on the new things that were launching, or going into my collection and doing, you know, favorites from, years ago. How are they now? Stuff like that. Um, and I didn't feel like I had quite as much freedom when I was doing the reviewing piece. But with commentary, I feel like there's so many things I could talk about. It's the problem is, how do I choose? That's the problem. That's the problem. So yeah, the Violet December says, "Oh, that would be too triggering for me to watch, even though I know you handle with sensitivity." Yes, it is going to definitely be the Brandon Truex story is definitely going to be full of triggers, and I will make sure that you all know ahead of time what those triggers are. And I'm not going to talk about it anymore today, but it's really it's a very emotional story. So that's one thing I really love about commentary. Um, Okay. That's pretty much how everything that I had down. And I personally love the personal person piece of it. I like the humanity piece of commentary of talking about human behavior. If you do not know, I have 4 degrees. Let me count them because I forget sometimes. I have an associate's degree in mental health. I have a bachelor's degree in special education with a certification in general education. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I have a master's degree in elementary reading and literacy. And I also have a certification to teach home economics because that was a career change I was thinking about for a minute. So, yeah. So 4 degrees. I forgot for a second. Um, I've always been interested. If you notice, there's a trend there, and is all about human behavior and helping people, and that's what I get to do in commentary. Is I get to talk about human behavior, and hopefully bring a new perspective to things, organizing things, and bringing a different perspective, and that makes me really happy. So that's why I personally love doing commentary, and I think those are some of the benefits. And I think one of the things that people really reach for and why people get into commentary is the monetary thing. Back when Dramageddons were popping off, when Jacqueline was having the lipsticks and all that stuff, the drama channels were getting hundreds of thousands of views easy. Like, all you literally had to do was jump on the camera, say this happened today, and it was hundreds of thousands of views. Like, it didn't even have to be effort. All you had to do was just say what happened. There's no research involved. There's minimal editing. You're just saying something, you're playing a clip, and then you're exiting. Like, so easy. And that's, I think, I'm not shaming that. Smarter, not harder is a very good strategy. I'm trying to get there. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to get there. So I think people see the money-making potential of it and jump in thinking that it's easy when it's not. There are periods of time where it can be easy, in that the drama is just flying at you and the things to comment on are just flying at you, and all you have to do is say something. But there's definitely times where there's just nothing happening, and that's what we're going to get into in the negatives of doing a commentary channel. So the biggest thing, I think, is the scariest thing, the biggest thing is the backlash you can get, depending on how you cover a situation. And the backlash can come very swift, because it's not necessarily like, you could make an hour and a half long video, but if you say one thing that takes up 1 minute of that hour and a half long video, but you say something that is very wrong, or very inconsiderate, or something along those lines, the backlash can be strong and it can be swift and right. I'm not saying that it's wrong. So you have to be really freaking careful what you say, because it's a minefield. You're handling very sensitive topics, and you can't, like I said, you can't know everything about everything. If you're talking about things that happen to people, if you're talking about ways that people live that are not your own, experiences that you'll never have, how do you understand those things from a life that you've never lived? And that's where the education piece comes in. That's where the openness comes in. The willingness to listen to people that have experiences that you don't are so critical in this space. And that's what helps you avoid the backlash, is understanding when you know something and understanding when you don't, and not speaking on it, because that's how you avoid the controversial backlash. That's how you avoid stepping in it hard, is doing that and letting the experts speak. And I think when I realized that, when I fully embraced that, that's when my commentary stuff started getting, I think, really good. Because I have done commentary pieces in the past that I'm not proud of, that I don't think I did a great job on. And I think part of it was I thought I knew something that I didn't know. So really having that self-reflection and being like, do I know this enough to speak on it? And if I don't, who does? Who does have the authority? Who can I quote? Who can I take a video clip from? Who can I give credit to that knows this? And just going that way. Audra says, and that's why I'll always keep a 9-to-5 job. At any point in time, I can just leave YouTube behind and disappear. I hope you don't, because Audra's commentary is so good. So good. Go check out Audra Rains. I know you can leave YouTube anytime, but I hope that you never do. I hope that you never do. The makeup nurse says people can be horrible no matter what. I have a troll that I had to block just because she didn't like how I put makeup, but it kept up in every video. If you don't like it, move on. Yes, some people are awful. Dealing with that, I mean, sometimes the critiques are valid, and this is a really great point that you're bringing up. Sometimes the critiques are valid, and sometimes the critiques are just like, what are you even talking about? Like, for example, I am going to give this person air because it's a perfect example of someone not knowing what the heck they're talking about. There is a comment on today's What's in the Makeup. I died. I died. They're like, I hope you lawyer up because James Charles is going to sue you. You must hate James Charles for what you're saying. Where is it? Okay, you know what? It's actually on my screen right now. Okay. Hi, Alan9584. Wow, you must really hate James. If I was him, I would hire the best attorney and get these lawsuit going. And then added later, and don't at me. I'm not arguing with anyone over my opinion. All right, so this is the funny part about Alan is Alan has clearly not watched that video. And everybody, of course, is, I'm not letting anybody crucify Alan, but you know, this is the thing is that video, I'm actually standing up for James. So clearly the person has not, oh my goodness. Can you pause for a second? Because I need to finish this thought before you do this, because this is a thing. We're about at the 30-minute mark, so we need to take a break anyway. But when you get comments like that of somebody that has not watched your content, you can either block them, delete them, or let people roast them. And right now I'm letting people roast Alan. So you would just have to do what's right for you in that particular situation. Okay, so we have an addition to our family. Phoenix has adopted a kitten, and the kids want to come in and show you the kitten. So we're going to take a little bit of a pause. We're going to say hi to the kitten, and then I'll tell you what's on my face, and then we'll keep going. Okay. So John and Phoenix are going to come in.
I have my Ren for makeup on.
Okay. So
she has a little bit in her eye because we think she got some dust in her eye, but
yeah, so she's got a little bit of a watery eye, but we're gonna address that because that just showed up this morning. So this is John. You have not seen John in forever. This is my baby. And then Phoenix, do you want to come down?
Yes.
Ren Fair makeup. And then this is baby Kitty that doesn't have a name yet, right?
She doesn't have a
formal name yet. Yeah, she definitely has.
Someone said, that was Audra. She said, you got a void kitten. Yes.
Yes, we got a little black kitten.
Baby void.
Yes, love it. So we were not going to get a kitten, but Phoenix is very, very persuasive. Let's just say that. So we did get a kitten, and she is the sweetest little baby. We got her from a rescue, and she's amazing. Yeah, she definitely needs to do something about her poor little eyeball. It was just a little tiny bit yesterday, and it's gotten better. But the rescue person has given us advice.
In her litter box, so she probably just got some dust in her eye.
Yeah, she was really kicking up in her litter box yesterday. But yes, this is our new addition to our family, specifically belonging to Phoenix. So that is our baby. Isn't she so sweet? She's just sitting here. She's just adorable and just doing her little thing. So we're going to the Renaissance Fair later. So that's why Phoenix is all dressed up for not dressed up yet, but makeup yet. Yeah, Renaissance Fair makeup. So yeah, Void Kitty. That can be a nickname. Yes,
sweet.
Yeah, she's a sweet little angel baby. So we have not introduced her to the dogs yet. This is actually her first time out of your room.
Yeah, right? Besides for when she came in.
Mm-hmm. Besides when she came into the house. When did we get her? 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she has not formally met the other animals yet. Luna is a suggestion. Halloween kitten. Yes. Yes. We love black cats in this house. We celebrate black cats in this house. So yeah, thank you for bringing her in.
Little baby.
Yeah, little baby. And thank you, kids, for coming to visit.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, sweet baby. Oh my goodness. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish getting ready.
Okay, go finish getting ready. Oh, thanks for saying hi. All right, I'll see you guys in about 30 minutes or so. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kitty says hi.
Okay. Baby Salem.
That's one of my names on my list, actually.
That's a good one.
Baby.
Yes.
Bring her
Love
back
it.
upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah,
bring her back upstairs. All right. Bye. Thanks for coming to visit. Yeah. Audra says, also chat, this is how kiddos consent to being on the internet. Yeah. True. And I've always invited my kids. That's something I've never done that to my babies. They've always like when we do the Beautylish unboxings, never forced them to be in them. They've always done it by choice. So, all right, let's talk about what's on my face today real quick because I got this foundation in Creators and Friends in Palm Springs. This is the Huda Easy Blur Foundation in the shade Chai. And can I tell you a little story about this real quick? So this, I had shade matched myself when I was not with Kelsey Brianna J. And I went into a second Sephora with Kelsey Brianna J. If you're not familiar with Kelsey, she's an absolute angel. I love her so much. I wish she lived closer to me because I love her so much. So I was like, Kelsey, I think I've got the right shade. Help me out. Make sure I've got the right shade. So she did. She shade matched me and I was right. And it made me so happy. It's like, yay. I've invited Kelsey to come stay with me and film content with me because Kelsey was going through my makeup bag. Kelsey actually did my makeup for the last night we were there. And she's going through my makeup bag. She's like, yeah, this brow pencil is not the right shade for you. This concealer is not the right shade for you. And I was like, you need to come to my house. You need to go through my collection and we'll film a video and you can help me throw things out that are not the right colors for me. Kelsey used to work at MAC and, just makeup artist extraordinaire. I'm encouraging her to bring back her YouTube channel. She has House of KBJ right now, but I think she might be coming back on her original Kelsey Brianna J YouTube channel. I'm hoping that she does because she's lovely, y'all. And I really want y'all to be able to get to know her better because she has my heart. I love her so much. So anyway, as far as the review of this so far, it's a little more full coverage. So it's been beautiful for filming. And I really like the finish a lot. Really enjoying this so far. I just have to be careful not to put on too much because it will seep into my fine lines if I put on too much. So I just have to do like one layer, done, check it off. But so far, so good. And I'm not wearing any powder today. And I feel like I can get away with no powder and having it be a little bit dewy. So the other thing I'm wearing on my face today is actually what I was talking about oh wait, no, not completely. My eyeshadow today. This is my first PR from Bella Beauty Bar. They sent over a couple of eyeshadow palettes. So I'm wearing Poison Garden today. And I focused on, this is the first time I've used this. I focused on the two purple shades, like a mauve purple and a deeper purple. And I have the hardest time with purples. Hardest time. They're usually terrible to blend. Oh my gosh. This is one of the best purples I have ever used. And if you've used purples, you know what I'm talking about. They are notoriously difficult to work with. And I was like, yes, that is what's going on up in my crease, right? So excited about that. This duochrome called Belladonna, purple to green shift is what's all over. Well, it's on the outer corner of my lid. I'm going to do that one and I'll show you Wolfsbane, which is on the inner corner, which is next to it. I'll just show them at the same time because they are gorgeous. Hold on, let me get the camera to focus for people that are watching. See if you can see that shift. Woo! Just really fun. So Wolfsbane is like a silver to purple. And the other one is green to purple and just really beautiful. I'll do a little swatch action. So I am very pleasantly happy with my first experience with Bella Beauty Bar. So far, so good. Really, really enjoying that. On my cheeks today, I have the Stranger Things from ColourPop, the cream blush. And I'm really loving the way this looks on me. I love this blush. I do not like how my pink fingerprints are showing up in the pan. It's a black blush that it's pH adjusting, whatever. I think that's just the nature of these products, though, is that when you touch it, then you're putting heat into the product. It might normalize eventually, but it's kind of weird that it's got these weird, creepy fingerprints in it, but also goes with the Stranger Things theme. So that is also PR. On my lips today, I had to dip into the Stranger Things waffle balm because this is everything I want. Smells like maple syrup. It smells freaking amazing. I love it so much. And then I use a little bit for my lips, shade in the Bella Beauty Bar palette. I use the shade Bleeding Heart as my lipstick today, which is like a rosy color and it's beautiful. And yeah. So someone mentioned that Tina from the Fancy Face stopped making videos. I don't think that that's a permanent thing. I hope that it's not a permanent thing. Tina's got a full-time gig, and busy being Smarty McSmarty pants over there. If you did not know, Tina is brilliant. As far like the academic sciency knowledge of Tina is kind of nuts. Tina is very book smart, extremely book smart, and lends itself to her full-time gig. So she's doing that right now, but I'm hoping that Tina will come back. I genuinely do. I got to see and hang out with Tina some too, but I did not get pictures with either one of them, which makes me really, really upset. You're in the moment and you forget and all that. I didn't get pictures with either Tina or Kelsey. They're like when I go to these events, it's like, oh, I'm home. I'm with my friends. I love them so much. All right. So that was what I wanted to tell you about what's on my face today. Let us continue with this topic. We've got about 24 minutes left to talk about this. And the biggest piece that I wanted to talk about as far as the negatives of commentary channels is the next thing I want to talk about, which is the legal issues. And that's my concern with the dude Dante from the James Charles video, because he outright calls James Charles's blush moldy multiple times with conviction. And that is very dangerous for him. He can do whatever he wants. If I'm not saying he can't. If he wants to say that he's, mean and he's the Regina George and all that stuff, that is his right. 100%. He can be whoever he wants to be on the internet. I'm just saying. I don't think that it's a very smart move, because James Charles, somebody said on my video, James said something about his job or whatever, and somebody said, what job? James's job, he's a multi-millionaire based on his earnings. I can guarantee you that. He is a multi-millionaire. He has the money to sue you. If he loses money because of Dante's video, which I don't think that he will, because no one seems to be believing Dante, James is fully within his right to sue and win. I'm assuming that Dante hasn't set up an LLC to protect his personal assets. You have to be careful. You can't just go willy-nilly out there calling somebody's stuff moldy without any evidence. You can't do that. You can say, this looks like mold, or this could be moldy, or does this look like mold to you? But you cannot say, this is moldy, unless there's scientific evidence that it is mold. Even if it really looks like mold, even if it's clearly mold, unless there's evidence, it's been tested, you can't say it is mold, right? Like the Kosas concealers. Those were tested and found, to my knowledge, from what I remember. Hopefully I'm right on this. From what I remember, the Kosas concealers, they said that some of them had mold in them. That's what I remember. See, I'm even being careful here, because I'm not 100% sure in my mind that was 100%. But my memory is telling me that was scientifically seen, that there were mold in there. There was mold in there. Until that came out, it was just, it looks like mold. Being sued is real, and it can take a long time to go through that process, and it can be very, very expensive, because you're not getting a public defender in that situation, most likely. You're going and you're paying for a lawyer, right? So you just have to be super freaking careful. Along with that, you can, certain platforms, well, I guess I'm trying to think if this is true or not. I put down that you can have the platform you're on take action against you if you're spreading misinformation, but I don't think that's necessarily true or real. I don't think that's real. Monica says, wait, I have a Kosas concealer and a foundation sample. Should I get rid of them? No. No. This was an issue they had years ago. Let me just be clear. The Kosas concealer issue, if you look up Kosas concealer mold, this was years ago. Because Kosas, what it comes down to is natural makeup doesn't have necessarily always the best preservative systems, because they're not using phenoxyethanol, they're not using parabens, they're using some kind of natural preservative system. And because of that, depending on how you store your makeup, depending on how long you have it, it is more likely to go bad faster. So it's really important to adhere to the expiration dates on natural makeup. The concealer issue, from what I remember, is that the concealer had been stored in like a bathroom, and it was old, and it was growing mold. That's what I remember. So this is not a problem that is happening across COSAS. This is not a problem that COSAS is continuing to have. This was one incident that was from years ago. And you can find the pictures of it. So just to be very clear, and thank you, Monica, for saying that, because I don't want to give the impression that like all COSAS products have issues, because they don't. There's no evidence to suggest that. It's just you have to be really careful with water-based products and expiration dates, especially the natural ones. Looking at that preservative system, if you're going to keep something for a really long time, phenoxyethanol typically does a pretty good job. But always adhering to expiration times that are suggested by the manufacturer is a good idea. So speaking of legal issues, when you realize you have to make sure you clarify things like that. The other thing is the risk that you're taking doing commentary is starting beef with other commentary channels. So I knew when I was talking about Dante that Dante may take that as an attack and then create content to talk about me for some reason. That's a risk I took. I don't care. I honestly don't. I'm too old for that shit. I'm too old for that. I don't care. Like, whatever. There's no evidence that he's going to make any content about me, but if he did, I would not care. It's fine. Because he's clearly wrong. So, he seems, I don't know how long he's been on TikTok doing the thing, but I'm just saying he needs to be careful. That's all. He can do whatever he wants. It's up to him, but he just needs to be careful. That's all I'm saying. So, that's another thing, is just being careful to if you if you say something about another creator, just be prepared that you could be starting a snowball effect, right? But this is something I've been talking about with Audra lately. Audra recently put up a video calling out a creator for some problematic viewpoints. And what we were talking about is that it's important to say people by name when they're really doing something that is problematic, harmful, hurtful, and really saying it and saying, look, just so you know, this person is like that. It's up to you whether you want to follow them or not. But just so you know, this person is like this. So when I create commentary videos about specific people, it's a risk, because I could be starting something. Want to be starting something, got to be starting something. How to get over. Okay, now I'm going to need to listen to that song. I love that song so much. You have to be really careful, because you could be starting a fight, and you have to, when you get in the ring, you have to decide, am I getting in the ring? Do I have the tools? Do I have the power as I get in this ring? And part of that is making sure that you have all your facts. You can't just willy-nilly just say whatever you want. Or you can, but you just have to expect to either get knocked out or get sued. So, Julie says, in my opinion, give me all the preservatives and makeup. The stuff is expensive. I want it to last a long, long time because I use my Tati palette. I still use my Tati palette. I'm just saying, yeah, powder products are like, there's no water. And that's something that we were talking about, is that when there's water in the product, it's more likely to grow mold. That was the issue with the Kosas product. The isolated incident with the Kosas product that I've never heard anything since then. But with powder products, there's no water in there. So yeah, you probably, if it starts smelling off, probably shouldn't use it anymore, but the risk is much lower, is what I'm saying. But definitely you have to decide what's best for you. I am not an authority on when makeup expires. So, definitely listen to your doctors, listen to the manufacturers before you listen to me. See, it's again, me covering my butt. People wonder why I do that all the time. There's a reason. Because I want to make sure I'm clear about what I know and what I do not know. The other thing is with and this is something I was a little concerned about the James Charles video, was that because it's such sensitive topics, I was worried that it would get demonetized. It would get flagged in the YouTube algorithm as something not to share. It did get flagged when I put the trailer up on TikTok. The visibility on that video, on the trailer for it, the intro for it, it had like no views. I ended up deleting it. I ended up deleting it off of Instagram, the trailer, because it's really sensitive. So YouTube's the only platform that pushed it out. But you have to expect that when you create a video on a sensitive topic, that some platforms are not going to like that. And with AI algorithms, all the platforms are listening to the content you're creating if it's an audio piece, and they're deciding based on their AI whether that content should be pushed. And if you say things like grooming in your content and other things that I said in my YouTube video, some platforms are not going to let that get out to the masses. So that's a big risk too, is you could work so hard on something, and because of the content, it could get demonetized. Right now, we're good. We're solid. But I know that I've talked to, I remember talking to Paige Christie about this years ago, and she was saying how a lot of her content during like the heyday and the height of all the YouTube drama channels, a lot of her stuff would get flagged for demonetization. I remember I showed something on Twitter of all my little green, we get these little dollar sign things that tell us whether our video is monetized. So it's like green is monetized, yellow was like monetization sharing, I think, and then red was like demonetized at the point, something like that. And all mine were green because I showed it for something else. I forget why. And Paige was like, imagine having all monetized videos. So that's a risk you take. Being a commentary or a drama channel is that your videos could get demonetized. That doesn't mean you couldn't get followers from it, but you're not going to be paid for your work, is what it comes down to. So that's a risk that you're taking as well. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So another thing is that the tone of content, sometimes it can be really tiring to hear negative things all the time. So if you're constantly making videos about negative things and that's all that it is, then it can get exhausting for the audience, and the audience can dip out. And Rich Lux and I have a very strange relationship, in that I don't agree with a lot of what Rich does and says. But there's for some reason some kind of emotional attachment that I have to this man, that I just hope that I don't know. There's just something that I just, like a little brother vibe that I get with him. And one thing that he's been doing that I think has hurt his content, and if he's watching this, hi Rich. One thing I think you're doing that's hurting your content, that has hurt your content, is the clickbait. The wild thumbnails, and then there's no payoff in the video. So I think that people can get really tired. So I think that it's really important to make sure that the content matches what the thumbnail and the title are, so that there isn't that fatigue. Because it's easy to get fatigued with any content on YouTube. You can just get tired of watching it, right? But with drama and commentary, I think that people take it a little more personally when they're just done and tired of it, done and tired. And then you lose your audience. So that's really easy to do in commentary, is to lose your audience. And Rich has been doing this a real long time. So, and I think also a challenge for everybody in the drama commentary, especially in beauty, and why people like T-Spill and Spill Sesh have branched out into other areas, is that beauty gurus aren't making the same mistakes as they were in 2019. So we don't have as much opportunity for content. So what's the other option? You need to make content. So I think that was kind of probably the motivation for it. But you have to be careful and respect your audience's time, and make sure that you're not just creating something just to create something because you need to create a video. Your audience is trusting you that they're going to click on something that's worthwhile, and always having that in mind, that everything that you create, and this goes across YouTube, everything you create should have the audience in mind that you're creating something that you feel is going to give people value, not just give you of you. And I think that if there's too much of that, that can lead to less views overall. And that's something to think about when creating commentary videos, something to think about. And I don't think Rich is going anywhere anytime soon. He's got that personality that a lot of people absolutely love. And I think he's going to be absolutely fine, genuinely. But I think that that might be why things are happening the way they are over on his channel. That's just my opinion. But I do think that he can come back. I do. Also, stop being friends with Jeffree Star. He's an asshole. Okay, and I don't know if he's still friends with Jeffree Star or not, but not a fan. Not a fan. Anyway. All right. Let's see. Yeah, and then the last thing was just about the problem with drama, and I think why Dante made that video is because it's when you don't have anything to make content on, it's easy to just make stuff up because you want the views. But that is the shortcut way. And that is the way you have to play the long game. Whatever social media platform you're on, you have to play the long game. And in playing the long game, you have to understand that in news in general, there are peaks and there's valleys. You all know that I'm a huge fan of musicals. Another one of my favorite musicals, along with Into the Woods, is the musical Newsies. And there's a scene in the movie, I don't know if this is in the play, but there's a scene in the movie where the kids are trying to sell the newspapers on the streets of New York, and the main guy, the kid that's new to selling them, he's talking about the headline on the paper, right? And he's not selling any papers. So the main guy that's been doing this forever comes over and he starts sensationalizing and saying, the fire, raging fire or whatever, when it was really just like, nothing. So my point is that in news, sometimes you don't have a great headline. And what people have done on YouTube is then sensationalize that headline in order to sell papers, in order to get people to click. But it works when no one's coming back to you specifically. Like when people aren't counting on you to be a good source, like then it works, like in that show and in that movie. But on YouTube, you have to be accurate and understand that sometimes you're just not going to get views on a video. Like I will look at, the views on certain videos, and I'll know when a What's Up and Makeup goes up that the headline just isn't great that week. But because I'm honest about it, I know that y'all are going to keep coming back. Because you either click on it or you don't, and I just take it as a loss for that week, as far as it's just not gonna get as many views. It's fine. It's just the way that it is. But um, you can't sacrifice the trust of your audience for the short-term benefit of clicks, because they're not gonna come back. If people feel like they're being deceived, they're not gonna come back. And again, you have to play the long game. And this is long game for me. I've been doing this 12 and a half years. Is my channel huge and ginormous? No. But I feel like I'm doing okay for myself. I feel like I'm doing okay. I'm happy with where I'm at. And I feel like that long game has really benefited me overall. Some people play the short game and they grow way faster than me and make way more money than me. If you look at like Rich and I next to each other, Rich has like double the amount of views on his channel than I have, right? So probably has made double the amount of money I've made over the years. So who am I to say, right? Who am I to say? Thank you, Margaritaville. I don't know why that was so hard for me to sound out, for gifting 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tish says, for years, I watched Rich Lux every video, but lately I found that I don't vibe with the content and I don't know why. Now I watch almost everything from Dustin and Nick. Yeah, and I think it's just about finding who you vibe with. And, I mean, yeah. It's all about finding who you vibe with. And you might vibe with someone one day and vibe with someone different another day. And you may stop vibing with someone and then vibe with a different person a different time. Like it's just the way that it is. Oh, Monica, thank you for the super chat. I turned on super chats last time. Thank you, Monica. That's so nice of you. Monica says, for your honesty. You know what you just did? You just bought me a key lime pie cheesecake on a stick, which I will be purchasing at the Renaissance Fair later. So thank you for purchasing my key lime pie for me. It's the big thing that I'm looking forward to is key lime pie on a stick. Thank you, Monica. And thank you to Angie for purchasing a membership to the channel. Thank you so much for that. That's so kind of you. Thank you. So anyway, that was what I wanted to talk about today. I mean, honestly, ultimately, what it comes down to is that you have to balance authenticity with responsibility. You have to balance wanting to get views with the truth. I will always and forever do what I can to get views in my thumbnail and in my title, but I will never be dishonest. So for example, today it says Jaclyn Hill Lipsticks 2.0 question mark on my thumbnail. Did I do that on purpose for views? 100% absolutely. Did I put the question mark on purpose? 100% absolutely. Because I do answer that question in the video. But I worded it that way on purpose in order to get people to click the video, to wonder, to have that thought, is this Jaclyn Cosmetics 2.0? I want people to have that question when they go into the video. But I worded that on purpose to get people to click, thinking that it might be, right? But I deliver on answering that question. So I want to make sure that I'm clear on that I will do what I can to get you to click on that video, but I will always follow through on what the video was, what it says in there. Pay very close attention to the question marks and the exclamation points because I use them extremely purposely. If you see a question mark, I'm just letting you know, chances are the answer is probably no. If you see an exclamation point, the answer is probably yes. You know what? It's just the way that I'm just telling you, I can't do anything but be honest. I was talking to Erica Vieira when I was at Palm Springs, who is a YouTube coach. And we've been friends for many years. And I told Erica how honest I was with you all about stuff. She's like, Jen, why do you do that? Like, why don't you just keep that information to yourself? Like, you can be honest with people. Why don't you just keep that information to yourself? It's like, I don't know any other way to be. I am not good at holding on to my own stuff. I am not good at holding back things. Like, I'd rather y'all know exactly what my strategies are. So you can decide whether you want to click on it or not, right? And then you always know I'm going to be honest with you. You always know. Sandra, thank you so much. Oh, Sandra, key lime for family and kitty milk. Thank you so much for the super chat, Sandra. That is so sweet of you. Oh my gosh. And Sin, oh, you can super chat, Jen. That's new. It is new. I turned it on. I get really uncomfortable with it, but what I was noticing with super chats on other people's channels is it gives people an opportunity to bump their comment where I can now see you. Where I get lost, I've been accused in the past of just picking specific people to comment what they're saying. And I don't ever like pick specific people, but sometimes people, the same person just keeps popping up and they keep making points. So I'm going to click on it. But I feel like super chats give a way to kind of jump to the front. You know what I'm saying? So thank you, Sin. That's so nice of you. I really appreciate it. And Cynthia says, Jen, you got a super chat early in this live. I did? I will have to scroll back. Thank you all so much. Oh, Audra says, Jen, you deserve good things. Stop it. Take the love. I have trouble with that. You know that, friend. You know that, friend. All right. Let me see if I can find it. I see Chloe was saying, I see some channel members commenting, but I don't see a super chat. So if I did miss your super chat and you put one in early, thank you so much for that. And I'm so sorry that I missed it. I see Roya, who's been a member for 41 months. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate you, Roya. Thank you. And I see Teresa, who's been a member for 53 months. Oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. You're so amazing. I appreciate you. Oh, and Teresa gave a super chat. I did miss one. Teresa says she's so adorable. I was so in with the cat. I missed it. So we will buy kitty food. We will buy some re-up on her wet food because we only got a few cans from the rescue. So I will buy new kitty food with that. Thank you, Teresa. That's so nice of you. Let me make sure I didn't miss any other ones. Y'all are so sweet. I really appreciate it. I got that. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I'm here. Okay. I'm back to the beginning. Samantha Riley is here. What's up, Samantha Riley? Do y'all, Samantha Riley, OG. First time I met Samantha Riley, I fangirled so hard. You had that collaboration eyeshadow palette. I'm trying to remember the name of the brand. We had the collaboration eyeshadow palette. We were at IMATS, and I was like, oh, it's Samantha Riley. Oh, I used to watch her content all the time. She took a long break from YouTube, but she is back. Go check out her YouTube channel. But I got her to sign my palette, and I still have it. It's back with my palettes that are really old because it's been a minute, but I do still have that palette. And thank you for being so nice to me when I was fangirling all over you back then. What was that, like 2015 maybe? Ah, the days, the days. Yes, Samantha Riley is back. Go check her out. Samantha Ruber, love your commentary and seeing the new kitty. Thank you. Yes, I love that you got to meet the new kitty. I will let you know what Phoenix ends up naming her. And Steven says, and a coffee to support your hard work. Thank you so much. And you know what, Steven? I do need to re-up on my coffee. I realized I'm almost out. So I will purchase new coffee with your super chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Oh, Jenny says, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness, we are out of time. Julie says, please tell Phoenix that they're amazing with their makeup skills. I will, Julie. Thank you. Yes, there we go. Here it is. Samantha says, sup, love, Serenity and Scott. Yes, it was a white palette and it was beautiful and I loved it. And yes, Anna, I will promise you to reveal the kitty name when she has one. I will. If you scroll back, Stacy, you'll be able to see the new kitty. You'll be able to see her. It's right around the middle. So I'm going to go because my family is waiting for me and we are going to go enjoy the Ren Fair. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed live chat today. I enjoyed speaking with you and hanging out with you. Next week should be normal content. I am going to be starting my work on The Ordinary video and Brandon Truax and his story. I'm going to be working on that. So there won't be a Friday video this week. And in that, I'm hoping that we will have normal What's Up in Makeup this week with top news and product report and everything. The following week is also going to be normal. I am hoping that The Ordinary video will be up on the 18th. That is the goal. And then on the 19th and 20th, normal What's Up in Makeup is the goal. And then normal What's Up in Makeup should be on the 25th and 26th, probably no Friday. 26th and 27th, probably no Friday video. Oh, I'm sorry, 27th and 28th. I'm doing Saturday, Sunday instead of Sunday, Monday. But you get what I'm saying. On the weekend should be normal What's Up in Makeup. And the following weekend is going to be weird. But I'll talk to you about that before when that gets a little bit closer. I always like to give you a little rundown at the end. But thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and a lovely rest of your weekend. And mad love to you. Have a great week. And I will see you soon. Bye.